Alrighty, welcome to another live stream. This one's a short notice one. I just happened to say, you know what, let's throw this up on the interwebs, YouTubes, and see what happens. So what we're going to be doing today is adding a Spider 22 pellet adapter to a Weber Master Touch charcoal barbecue grill. So back in 2020 is when I first bought the Weber 22 Master Touch, and what's unique about this particular grill is that, and if you have one, is that the center section of it has different attachments that you can use for grilling. You can get a griddle or a pizza stone or a roasting tray. So when I bought the grill, I bought the roasting tray at the same time with my intentions on doing grilled turkeys and grilled chickens and stuff like that, and stuff where you need a little bit bigger grill if you're into charcoal grills, a little bit bigger grill where you got enough room to put the cover on and cook the food properly. So that worked awesome for until today, and which is still working if I choose to use such an option. Later on, I was hanging around on Etsy, and they got these like expander rings. So they're stainless steel, and they're a combination of an expander ring and a rotisserie attachment. So I bought that. I think it was like either 2 years later, so 2022. So I originally bought the grill in 2020. It's 2024. So I've been using the expander ring and the rotisserie attachment for 2 years now. So that works good for, when you got extra tall food, or you want to stand something on end, like a turkey, and stick his butt right in the fire. So that worked excellent. And I would normally conclude grilling season by grilling a turkey for Thanksgiving, and usually, depending on the weather, I start the grilling season on Easter. So I don't know how I come across it, but I found either probably a YouTube channel or it come up on Amazon or something like that, but I found these adapters, or a place where it sells these grilling attachments for the Weber kettles. So if you got a 22-inch or something like that, this option will work on it. But they also got two different accessories for the Weber kettles. So if you still want to play with the charcoal, they got this special little blower unit that goes up underneath it. So it's a blower unit combination ash pan. So it's kind of like when you stoke a fire, or when you're doing like metal work and you stoke the fire with air. This is what this thing does. It's like a blower unit on the bottom, and it injects air up through the vents on the bottom of the kettle, and of course it stokes the charcoal, makes it hotter. Or if it's they're starting to go out, of course, if you had a charcoal grill, that in time or sometimes the charcoal can actually go to like a smother, where it doesn't really produce enough heat. So to get it going again, you either open up the lid, which gets the air cycle going again, and it makes the charcoal burn hotter, and then you can put the lid on and stuff like that. So normally for me, when I do my turkeys in November there, it's basically, I'm lucky if it's like 40 degrees during the day, at the time I'm doing it. So basically, once I get all the charcoal burning hot, put the coals down on the outside of the bowl, put the grates in, put the turkey on, and close the lid, and don't open it until it's done. But you're always having to play with the temperature setting on the bottom. So you either play with the vent on the top, or you play with the vents on the bottom. So luckily, the way I've been doing it for the last couple of years, basically the turkey goes in, when the thing is like 500 degrees, And then as time goes on, you start backing off the vents on the bottom to get about 350, 400 degrees. But it comes to a point where you can have the vent all the way open and you still have a gradual decline of the heat. So if you got enough small enough bird, by the time it's below 300, it's just about done anyway. So that works out well. But you always got that little thought in the back of your head, is there going to be enough heat to finish it, and stuff like that. So going to the accessories, so I found that either a YouTube channel or on Amazon, spider grill attachments. So they got two of them. They got the blower attachment that you can put on the bottom, which would have been fine if I wanted to go that route. But they also got what I'm going to show today, the pellet adapter. So instead of burning charcoal and having to deal with the lighting of it and having to wait 15 to 25 minutes to get a whole chimney full of charcoal fully ablaze, and then being that it's such a big grill, you need two of them really to have enough fuel and heat to do what you want to do for something bigger. So I says, you know what, that seems like a pretty cool attachment. So I bought a few days ago, I bought the Spider 22 pellet adapter for the Weber kettles. And now in a little bit, we're going to go out. It's currently pouring now, so I brought everything in the house to assemble this thing to put this on. So basically all it is that if you're familiar with a pellet stove, you got a hopper, you got an auger, and you got the ignition system, and then you get heat and stuff like that. And this one's nice because it has temperature control, which is nice with this, and also that blower attachment, you can precisely control the temperature. So it's got anywhere from a smoke setting all the way up to probably about 550 or something like that, max setting. And it uses a temperature probe to monitor the temperature inside the grill. So whatever you want, whether you want a smoke setting or you want 350 or 400, whatever you want, just set the dial, forget it, set it, forget it, and that's basically a very pretty neat convenience to have. So we're going to go out in the kitchen, because you'll probably hear it raining when I go out there, and we're going to go assemble this thing. I've already taken it out of the box because the box is huge for the device at hand. So let's go out to the remote camera and check out. So prior to bringing this in and stuff like that, of course, like I said, this thing is 4 years old now, and it's actually the first time I cleaned this thing. So when you're playing around with charcoal, you get the ash and stuff like that, and it builds up inside and stuff like that. But this cleaned up very nicely. So the porcelain coating is not all destroyed and it's rusting out and stuff like that. So there's only a little bit of surface rust on the ash cleaner, but that's not a really big deal because it's not going to be used. So prior to after I cleaned it and stuff like that, the only thing you got to do with these things to prep it is you got to take the ring off the bottom for your ash pan. So it just clips in to the top of the legs, so you just push in the clips a little bit and the whole thing will drop right out. So here's the unit at hand. So here's the actual unit. So it's a little heavy, and it's also not going to sit straight. It won't stand up by itself without support. So here's the unit itself. Comes in a couple of different pieces. When you unbox it, I've already did some partial assembly. So you got the foot here. So that's this part here. That comes separately in the box. And then you got the main unit here. And then you got a heat diffuser tray. You got a couple other little accessories and stuff like that. So I've already put the foot onto the main unit here. So of course this runs off electricity to run the auger and the electronics. So up here is the compartment to put all your pellets. I don't know exactly how many pounds it holds, but it's going to hold more than enough then to do a cooking cycle, depending on what you're doing with it. So this just latches very nicely here, and as time goes on, these latches are adjustable, so you can get a nice tight fit. And this is also, like I said, the power cord here, but this is also a handle so that you can pick this up. So normally, a lot of people, by default, they're going to hang this at the back of the unit. So it's normally going to go on the back side of this unit. But the only problem with that is that if you do that, you're going to lose the ability to use your wheels. So because you got this big foot sticking out, you're not going to be able to wheel it around. So, and of course I got the that back hoop there to hold the lid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it to the side. So normally, by default, the ash cleaning handle is normally on the right side. So I just drop this leg and just carefully pull the handle down to get it past this black part here and put it on the left side. So normally what they want you to do is set the foot to the height of the kettle and stuff like that. But we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to hang it off the unit first and let it just slide in on its own. So, like I said, comes in a couple of different pieces. It's got the foot, it's got the main unit, and of course you got the electricity. Here's your thermostat, so anywhere from off to smoke, and it's a indexed dial, so whatever you want. Over here is your connection for your temperature probe, which is going to be important for this unit to operate. And then on the back side here, the other side, what you don't see, here's the actual burn chamber. So all your heat's going to come out of this nozzle. So this nozzle is removable for cleaning, and your pellets and your heating device is all in there in that chamber. It's all stainless steel and stuff like that. So here's your nozzle. It is a directional nozzle, so it's got a taller side and a shorter side. So you're going to be wanting the taller side toward the back of the unit, because it's they want the heat to travel up the side of the bowl, and to clean the ashes out of the burn chamber. Here is your ash clean out. So after this is shut down and cool, you take this out and clean out your ashes. It comes with a little brush to do a real nice job to scrub that out. So all we got to do now is just attach this to the grill. So we're going to line this burn nozzle with the vent hole in the bottom of the bowl. So we're going to hang it on the edge of the grill here, and we're going to line up the nozzle so that just slides right in. So that's all it takes to attach that. So to take a little closer look at what that looks like on the bottom. So there is the nozzle, and then your other, like this particular hole, this is going to be the hole for the drip tray, so that all the grease drains out. So that's what it looks like from the inside. So now we'll go back and set the foot. Get in there. Yeah. So all we got to do now is, because you know, you don't want to have it hanging off the edge of the grill, especially when you fill this with pellets, it's going to add some more weight. So all we got to do now is just take these wing stops off and just slide this foot down. flush with the ground, and we'll make sure this is seated. And then you just tighten this up. And that's all you got to do to install this thing, and you're basically done. So now with the unit off to the side here, now all you got to do is that you still can wheel this around and get it out of your way, or put it back in the garage or in your shed and stuff like that. So it did move on me a little bit while I was playing around. So we'll just bring this back over. So that's the installation of the main unit, other than having to plug it in and fill it up with ashes. The only other little thing you got to do, so here's the heat dissipation plate, so it diffuses the plate heat to go on the outside. Of course, you get a little bit of radiating heat off the center of this thing. So it's intended to have the heat go on the outside, and there is a little bit of an air gap on the outside, so you get plenty of nice convection heat to go around your food. You're not going to necessarily have direct heat on your food, but that's not really a problem. So here's the little drip channel, little thingy dooey here, and this goes into this top slot here, and then you're going to line it up with your next available slot. So all this thing does, it just slide in here, like that, and then you just insert it into the grill, and then line it up with the hole of the next slot. So just make sure that it's poking out the bottom, and it is. When this thing is, when you look at it from the backside, you don't really see anything other than a little hook hanging out. So we'll bring you back out here. So here's what it looked like on the bottom. So there's the little grease catcher. So all you do is hang like a soda can off of it. So we'll grab a soda can, and you pull the tab up, and that's all you do is put the inside of the opening toward the center of the unit, and that is what's going to catch your all your grease, you know, your turkey fat and stuff like that. So normally this thing is supposed to be a little bit closer to the bowl, so we're going to do some couple of more adjustments to get that a little closer, because they want it basically touching. So we'll do that. So to adjust that, to get it closer to the bowl, all you got to do is just loosen these up a little bit, and just get it a little closer. So we'll just take it off for the time being and just drop these a little bit, because normally they want it like about an inch below the bowl, and just tighten this up. We'll leave a little bit of a gap on the side hole. We'll match it on this side, and we'll see how well it fits. take that out for a minute and put that back when we get it back lined up. Because once you have this set, then you ain't got to play with it no more. So just the initial setup here to get it all perfect and lined up. Oh. So that's about an inch, or give or take or so. And then you can just put this main foot back down for the support. Just make sure these are nice and tight. That takes care of that. So it's a lot closer to the bowl now, like it should be. And the nozzle is actually pretty much centered in the hole, top to bottom and front to back. And then we can put our diffuser plate back in. Put our little soda can back in. Takes care of that. And then after that, you put your grates on. So you put your grate in. And this one, like I said, being a master touch, it's got a hole in the center, so you can either put your grill in, or you can put a like a roasting pan and stuff like that. But that would be the roasting pan. And the final thing to do is to attach the temperature probe. So they recommend that you have the probe somewhere near your, about 2 inches away from your food or something like that. But within the general area. So we'll put this over here. So it comes like this in a couple of pieces. So the very bottom hole, and it's just a spring friction fit. And you just put it inside one of the, in between a couple of individual grates, and then you just take the little probe off and plug it in. And that's all that is for it. So for me, like I said, I got the expander ring for it, which is stainless steel. Been out in the weather, so that would normally go on top of that. And then the rotisserie motor would go on here. And of course, it would stretch across the top here. And then for the wire here, I could either stick it through the slot here, or stick it through the hole if I'm not using the rotisserie. This is stainless steel, so it cleans up easily with a little oven cleaner. And that's all it is. A matter of getting this thing going, is plugging it in and filling up the pellet hopper. So we'll cut the zip tie off. And of course you would plug that in. It's a grounded plug, nice heavy wire, and of course you got your lid here to throw in the pellets. So the initialize the system probably for the first time, if it doesn't fire off for the first time, fill it up, turn the dial up to whatever temperature, let it do its thing for about 2 minutes. If it doesn't fire by then, turn it off for 5 minutes, and then restart it again, and it's almost guaranteed that it will fire up for you for the first time. So that's it for the Spider 22 on the Weber Master Touch. Of course, like I said, a lot of people suggested to put it on the back, but like I said, you lose the ability to wheel it around and stuff like that. So the other accessories is a little brush that cleans out your burn chamber, and they give you a cover so you can cover the whole grill and pellet unit. So very nice system. So we'll probably have to do a separate live stream for cooking something with this. So a very nice attachment for the Weber kettle, and I'll probably get many uses out of that. Maybe I'll start using that bigger grill more often, just because pellets are a little bit more user-friendly and a little bit easier to clean. So that's all I got to do now is fire it up for the first time and see how well it goes. So not much else to say about it. I hope it works well. And of course, you can use a plethora of pellets for it. And usually the pellets are a lot easier to find during the wintertime hours if you're one of them guys that don't mind grilling out in the snow and stuff like that. I'm not going to stand out in the freezing cold waiting for the food to be done, or burn excess fuel to for the thing to maintain temperature. So like I said, it's usually Easter to Thanksgiving. That's my grilling season. So that's many months, and where you're not out in the weather miserable. You can hide in the house and stuff like that while things are cooking. But you want to be out there next to it, and you want to peek in under the lid and check how it's doing, make sure it's not burning anything. Unless you know what you're doing, and you can just set it and forget it, like a turkey and stuff like that. It's pretty much packed. So. Like I said, the fuel is a lot easier to come by in the off season. You just go to. They usually hide that stuff in the back room or in your local hardware store, or they usually always keep it out. Not so much the charcoal after Labor Day. Charcoal just disappears. You can't find it after Labor Day. They put all that crap away. But usually the pellets stay out. Not in huge amounts, but they always keep a couple of bags out. Stuff like that. So it's a lot easier to get a hold of if you want it. And of course, any flavor you want, whether you can have, and it's all hardwood pellets. So, you can have your apple, your hickory, your oak. You can have a competition blend and this and that, and whatever mesquite or whatever you want. Whatever flavor you want in the wood, especially if you're smoking, what's nice about that, because now it turns your Weber kettle into a smoker. So like I said, I got that nice expander ring there, so you can do a lot of if I wanted to, I could do a lot of smoking if I wanted to, which gives you some incredible flavors if you're into that, and if you're patient to smoke, because you're cooking at very under 200 degrees, so it's going to be a little while before anything comes up to temperature, but you're going to have all that nice smoke flavor to make up the bad over the good with the time and duration of having to cook. So I hope you enjoyed this stream on the joining the Spider 22 to the Weber 22, and as you can see, that thing being 4 years old, and the first time I cleaned it, it's still cleaned up very nicely. Very it wasn't a lot of effort to clean that. So, because we all know that when you got a grill, whether it be gas or charcoal or pellets, you know damn well that you're not going to clean it other than to scrape the grates off a little bit. There's not a lot of people that are going to do a full scrub clean of the whole grill. Is it beneficial to the grill? Yeah, it's going to make it last longer, but for me, all my grills are stored, in not climate-controlled conditions, but at least they're out of the weather, so the rain, the snow, and the wind, so it makes them last a long time. And speaking of lasting a long time, they had a very interesting stories on the media how all the big grill companies, whether it be Weber or Traeger or whatever else is out there, Big Green Egg and stuff like that, they're all complaining their profits are down. Well, at least they made the story right, and if you read it in its entirety, they actually described back in 2020 under the so-called pandemic. Of course, everybody was stuck at home, and they didn't have nothing better to do. So, you get tired of cooking in the house, and you get tired of ordering out and having food delivered to you and stuff like that. So what do? You go outside and grill. Of course, you got some of probably your best cooking ever that you'll ever have is doing grilling outside. So everybody bought a grill, whether it be gas, whether it be charcoal, whether it be propane, or pellet grill, or natural gas grill, stuff like that, fire pit. Everybody was doing it. So they also mentioned that they estimate the lifespan of a grill between about 4 and 5 years old. So anybody that bought a grill, in 2020, and if they stored them outside or they didn't care for them very well, they're probably just about ready to be dragged out to the curb for the scrap guy to pick up. So they're hoping within the next year or two that the business picks up where everybody wants a new grill. But on the other hand, the inflation has made the grills a lot more money than they were back in 2020. So I probably can go on my Amazon site and see how much that was. I did buy the Weber on Amazon. Let's see how much that was compared to what it is now. So I bought 2 items, I do know that. Okay, I did buy it separately. So at the time, the Weber was $219 back in 2020. So we'll see if the price has gone up. Yeah, it has gone up. So mine was, what did I say, 219? So now it's up to 275 for the same exact Master Touch. So the cost of them has gone up. Not grossly, but 219, 275. That's what, a little over $50. So that's the biggest problem with the inflation today, and that's just the way it is. So it is what it is. So with that being said, that's it for this live stream. I'll have another one tomorrow with the microscope. Got a little new toy for that. So stay tuned for that. So with that, we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.